It's hard to believe something like Five Nights at Freddy's is a decade-old franchise at this point. From a small indie horror game that dominated the YouTube Let's Play scene.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Fortnite Battle Royale.
To a big franchise with merchandise, books, and 2 movies. Not to mention all the weird spin-offs that not many people know of. Aside from Fnaf World. I think most of us were surprised when we first saw the trailer for the game. And then it got removed from Steam. Well, at least it's still available on GameJolt. What the hell is Sister Location MA? Alright, let's check it out. Sister Location free version. Do I need headphones for this? Hopefully not. What the fuck? Here's the thing. I have never played Five Nights at Freddy's. The first 3 games anyway. I think I played a demo of Fnaf 4. I bought Sister Location in 2016, but the first game? Not at all. Let's not delay it any further and start a new game. What's the strategy for this? First night is easy. You'll get a phone call which works as a tutorial.
Blah blah blah. Good night.
But it also gives small hints as to what's happening here. I like how the game tries to reassure the player by saying everything will be fine.
There's nothing to worry about. There's really nothing to worry about.
Your job as the security guard is to check the cameras. The animatronics are not very active here, so there's enough time to get used to the gameplay loop. You can flash the door light or close the door, depending on when an animatronic is nearby. In the lower left corner there is a power percentage. When it drains to 0 there's 2 possible outcomes. Either you can pray to RNG gods that you'll get 6 AM before Freddy's music box stops playing, or the second outcome, you get jump scared. Stuff like checking the cameras, flashing the door lights and having the doors closed will drain your power. So it's best to keep an eye on it and not let it hit 0, which is something I still struggle to understand. You might have noticed that in some footage I have Pumpkin in the office. That's because I had already completed 5 nights in my first playthrough. And it just so happened that I played 3 nights during Halloween. And also because the footage was unwatchable. So read a strategy guide before I even attempted to beat this game. First night is done, and we can now move on to... I guess I shall explain how each animatronic works, because that's how most YouTubers do it. Bonnie is the first animatronic that's likely to start moving, and in my opinion, the most aggressive threat in the game. Oh! Damn it! Chica pretty much functions the same as Bonnie, except she can sometimes get distracted in the kitchen and starts making noises in there. Which buys the player a little time to focus on other animatronics. Chica is still in the kitchen. What is she doing there? Making pizza? We also get introduced to Foxy.
He was always my favorite.
Okay, he does show in the first night, but I bet most players won't notice. So let's save the details for later. Oh, and this face surprised me on the cameras. Wait, what the hell was it? Did you see that? Oh my god, that was terrifying. And I have run out of power on night 2. Amazing. But hey, I made it to 6 AM. That counts for something. You know the night starts great when I'm doing my best impression of Chica. Okay, so when will I finally start talking about Foxy? Well, that's where I had to use footage from night 4 because he was still doing nothing. Unlike the previous animatronics which move on their own, Foxy will only activate when you don't check the cameras. He will slowly crawl out of his cove, and if you no longer see him there, you have to act quickly. Check the west hall, and if you see him running, shut the left door immediately. In return, Foxy will drain some of your power by slamming the door. As for the actual night, nothing really changes, as it's the last easy night in the game, and considering this is my second playthrough, I managed to survive 3 nights without dying. That must be an accomplishment! You know, except for the fact that I almost ran out of power again. Now, unfortunately, OBS didn't pick up my microphone during this night. That means no funny commentary and over-exaggerated reactions. What a shame. Night 4 introduces the most frustrating mechanic. Freddy. You need to frequently check Freddy on the cameras, which will slow him down. If you don't check on him, you'll hear a laugh and Freddy will move. Which gets really difficult when he moves like every 15 seconds. He's in the back rooms. Cool, stay there. Did I mention you also have to keep an eye on Foxy? Speaking of which, congratulations on finally doing something. The main thing where you notice the difficulty increasing is that Bonnie and Chica's AI become way more active, to the point where they won't leave your office. causing your power to drain significantly. You can tell I was in my panic mode because I kept flickering through the cameras, hoping Freddy won't move closer to my office. And won't you look at that, I made it to 6 AM by running out of power. It feels like I'm winning by pure luck, and that sure as heck won't help me with more difficult nights. So, you know how the animatronics sometimes jump the doors? Yeah, it happened here, and let's say it made me mildly annoyed. Where's Bonnie? Ah! Yeah, I had to lower the volume. Somehow I made a noise louder than the actual jumpscare in the game. So, what exactly happened, and why does it keep happening? Well, I looked on guides and general questions about the game online, and apparently, it means they're already in your office. Well, that's good to know. If only I knew that before. Oh, come on, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This night took me more attempts than I would like to admit. Hell, I thought I won't be able to finish it, when suddenly. But this was my first playthrough of the game. Will I be able to beat this night again? Well, let's see, Freddy is constantly on the move, Foxy is finally doing something, and Bonnie and Chica circle around my office, so it's safe to say that I won despite all the chaos. After beating the previous night, I felt like I finally understood how the game works. Well, aside from giving the pizzeria electricity bills. Somehow I got through night 6 and I have no capture of it. I didn't feel like recording that day, because I was sure I was gonna fail. Why have a 1 hour footage if I'm gonna die regardless? Then suddenly... And the only proof of me beating night 6 is the second star I got on the main menu. Meaning all you're seeing is my failed attempts. Nice. Especially about your The fact that in one run I was this close to hitting 6 AM shows my lack of understanding of the game mechanics. Shall I mention the portion of my playthrough where I started complaining about the Fnaf movie? Welcome to What Grinds My Gears segment, I guess. Vanessa is William Afton's daughter. It makes sense. You just need to separate the games from movies. It will make sense, I swear. You know, it makes all the sense in the freaking world that Vanessa is William Afton's daughter. Like, okay, maybe the movie canon. The movie canon. Are you kidding me now? One thing that constantly annoys me is that the cameras keep shutting off. According to this 100% lore accurate with no misinformation whatsoever FNAF encyclopedia, it's Bonnie who deactivates the cameras when you look at him for too long. But you know, that happens in Ultimate Custom Night. This is a completely different game. So can anyone tell me how I got through this night in the first place? It's a complete mystery. And no, I didn't use cheat codes. Because if I did, it will show me this. Okay, that doesn't happen, but it will be funny if it happened. Beating the night rewarded me with Custom Night, which lets you customize the night and the animatronics behavior however you want. I'm gonna be honest, I didn't even try to beat this mod. Even trying to start the night feels like I entered my personal hell. And I really don't want to deal with him. Well, I think I experienced enough. I think this was an okay game. What I think it does right is the sense of panic. Probably doesn't make much sense when I say it like that, but checking the cameras while also making sure the animatronics don't get into the office can be panic inducing. And that's a good thing. It keeps things interesting, especially on more difficult nights. Although, doing the same thing over and over again with slightly different mechanics isn't something I'd be into. This will probably remain my only FNAF related video. Still, I'm glad I got to finally play this. I hope you all enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next game.